Good morning, everybody. April 26, 2022. So we're going to continue with looking at US30. So following up from my video yesterday, so if we would have got in on the counter trend trade, it would have actually worked out. Even when I made the video, I think I made the video about no, so I was already past it a little bit. A little bit before 6 a.m. I believe it was. So let's see, 5:15. We still could have got in really and made some money on a little counter trend, but if you would have held it for a bigger move upwards, it would have got stopped out obviously. But it was a good little counter trend trade had you gotten in at the right moment, which would have been around here. It looks like around 4:45 a.m. Eastern time. But now on to what the real ambition is, which this move here is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for it to pull back up here. And as you see, it's been, making a little bit of a continuation of a bearish trend here. However, it's holding up here in this little area. So what I really wanted to see more than anything, I wanted to see it pull up to, and I adjusted my fib from yesterday. So yesterday, because obviously this hadn't yet occurred, my fib was here, I believe it was. So that puts us below the 38.2 by a good bit. And plus, this is a weekly support and resistance line that I have drawn out, 34,200 mark. And then also this zone here, which has been a pretty powerful zone recently, and even going back a bit as far as last month. So I am looking for, really anticipating for a price to pull back into this area here. Now, with this drop down yesterday, now my fib isn't there anymore. Really, my fib is here. And with that in mind, doesn't really change it, that much, obviously. But the 38.2 is definitely what I'm hoping or not, well, the 38.2 specifically, but that also with this weekly support resistance and also with this zone in mind, my goal would be to try to get into an entry somewhere. I mean, it's made this previous push up, and now this is a new resistance. So, I'll see if it pushes back up to here, depending on what's shown, if there's some exhaustion showing, if there's some reversal formation showing, then, maybe I'll get back in if it pushes up to here. But really, I would like to see it get up to like this area where I have this marked up or have this projection, laid out roughly. So this would be really ideal. Really, you can't it can't ever be that exact, but really I would like to have my stop in the perfect world. I'd like to have my stop a little bit past this zone, because if price really breaks past this zone, that means it's probably going to continue up, going onto this zone to this next level here of resistance, because right here there's not a lot holding it up. As you can see, we're looking left here, looking left, there's not a lot there. So I don't see, well, here there is. Here there's the very bottom of these points here, which is already approaching this weekly support resistance line or level. But right here where we are right now, I'm talking about, there's really not a whole lot in the 33,900 to 34,000. There's really not a whole lot. There is a daily support resistance line from previously, a level that did have some play in it, which is obviously a psychological level, so almost 34,000 exact, which makes sense. So around that level there is some obviously can conflict as far as what's going to happen next many times. So I think that's what we're experiencing here. Price pushed up. You can see it. So after it pushed up yesterday, then it dropped down, hit this zone here, this zone of 33,220 to 33,450. From all the way back here and even further. As far as January, at least that zone has been valid. So hit that, pushed all the way up, pushed up from 33,300 to as high as 34,000, 34,100, so 1,700 points. It pushed up, and now it's running into some resistance here as we approach this weekly level here of 34,200 roughly, as I said. And it's pushing down, and now it's coming back up, and kind of like playing around with this level of the 34,000. So again, what I would like to see for me to get into an entry on this, I'm now going to wait and see if price pushes up to somewhere around this level here. Again, I said in a perfect world, my stop would be up there. Without me, my entry would have to be around like here, because I try to shoot for like 100 pip stop loss, 100 point stop loss. So my entry would have to be like smack in the middle of this zone, which would be an awesome entry. And then my stop would be somewhere out here, a little bit past the zone. But if it doesn't get to that point, if it gets up to this level here, or more preferably this level here, where we're having some confluence between the 38.2, the weekly support and resistance level at 34,200, or so I guess 34,196 to be exact. Oh, 34,190. Let me see what I have that as. 34,197 is what I have marked off. Not that it's exactly that, but anyways, some confluence there between this 38.2 fib level, that weekly support and resistance level that I marked off. Also, it would, if it were to push up to that level, it would have somewhat of a static support and resistance here with the MA66. So all that along with this zone here as well above it. But if it were to get up to this level, let's just say I would be looking for an entry if there is signs of exhaustion, big wicks, some reversal formations forming. So let's just say somewhere around here roughly, and then my stop would be 100 points. So it'll be right there. So I'm not really, I mean, the stop would be above this previous level of support, or of resistance rather. So it's not a horrible stop. I would prefer to have it past this zone here. Have it somewhere up here where I know if price hits that, it's probably going to keep going up, just like these other times. I mean, it hit that, and it kept going up. It came back down, hit it, it did push back down, but then it came back up, hit it again, and then just kept going up. The same thing. It seems like most of the time when price breaks that low, we're talking about like right here, it keeps pushing up. Like here, it didn't really, depending, obviously on the exact level. There, it hit it technically, but if it was pushing a little bit up, I mean, if it hits it there, it continues up. If it hits it here, it struggles and then continues up. So that's that would be my really 100% ideal entry for this. But if not, at the very least, I'm gonna wait for price to pull up somewhere around like here. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jesus, what am I saying? Not there. Not there. Somewhere. Well, I already have it marked off, obviously, on my entry, but that's what I'm saying. Somewhere around there. And really more like here. Oh my god. Trading view skills on fire. Trading view skills on fire. Really like in here. So yeah, where I have my entry laid out here with my position tool, whatever you call this tool. I don't even know. Long position, short position tool, whatever. This point would be like my minimum entry. This would be like my minimum where price is like a little bit above this structure here, right at this structure. And, if I get in here on the chart, then with the spread, it was like a 20-point spread, roughly trading US30 with the broker I use currently. That'll put me like around here, 34,174, 34,154. 1.5, so it'll put me like right at this level, and then my stop would be somewhere, around here, be a little bit lower than where it is currently laid out right now. It'll be about here, but that's still not bad because it's above this level of structure. Um, it should be good. But that's my minimum. I would really like for price to pull up a little bit higher, even potentially go into this zone, and then if it throws some, signs of exhaustion, some wicks, some reversal, a pattern, showing on the lower time frames a change in structure back to bearish, then I'll be looking at to get into an entry. So we see here dropping down to the M15. So, yep, price is pushed up. As we see, we're seeing the struggle here. Now it's broken down below this level of support that I formed, pushing up, and now it's running into this level again. This 34,000 level is kind of struggling here. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yesterday, this was yesterday the push up. This would have really been like this. But anyways, zooming in on lower time frames, see more detail. So, price pushed down, lower lows, broke above previous structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's kind of just been status Asian session, which really is, most of the time US30, you're not going to have a lot of movement. And, for London, it just has been a downtrend so far. It's been pushing down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. It's kind of struggling here. It looks like it might have some support forming here. I'll draw a little random line here on the M5. There's a little bit of structure forming here in lower time frame. So, we'll be looking for price really to respect this, push up, and then like we said, retest this, and even if it breaks above it, wicks above it. So we'll see where this goes, but that's my intention. I personally don't feel comfortable getting into a bearish move, or excuse me, a bullish move right now. I don't believe it. Everything. The monthly's not going to change from yesterday, obviously, but even yesterday, we see where yesterday closed. That was April 18th. This was 25th. Oh, it's the weekly. I apologize. Sorry about that. That was on the daily. So okay. So yeah. So far on the weekly, it's a bullish candle, but still bearish. Overall, still definitely pushing down. This could be resist or a support forming here on this same daily. Let's see here on the daily. As we see, yesterday was a bullish day overall. It did push up. However, definitely I would say it's still bearish. And it looks like when we zoom in on daily, this candle might be the start of a higher or lower high to then continue pushing back down to this zone again. So we'll see how that goes. But point that I'm trying to make is I don't see a lot of case for a bullish entry here. Here, this is the daily right now. The daily candle is bearish as of right now, and just the overall bias seems to be bearish. So I wouldn't really have much of a case, for a justification for a bullish entry. Price dropping down to the H4. We could even just lay it out. Here, let's see. I'll lay it out really quick. See what our justification. We could think maybe that price pushed down and now it's pushing back up. Momentum is reversing, and now it's making a higher low based off of this previous low. But the only problem with that is it's still breaking below on the lower time frame. Any structure formed the support here, so it would have kept pushing back up to here, maybe, but then we would actually be looking to see signs of reversal for that move that we're talking about. But here, I just don't see the fact that it also broke this right now. I don't see that it's going to just shoot up all that distance. It would have to. I don't even know what the entry would be, really. I don't even know what the entry would be. I just always like to try to look at both sides of the coin to try to consider, but let's just say like here, I guess, or here. So then with that, here, let me temporarily delete this one just so I get. So price pushes up to here. We're at the 23.6. So it would have to really, for me, it would have to at least get down to here. And it looks like it's already pushing further down. Drop down to lower time frames, you know, we're talking about price maybe coming down to here and reversing back up, or here. And then the target would be, I wouldn't target any further than this area that I'm targeting for a sell entry right now. I wouldn't target this up here or any of that. So, I just don't see a lot of case for a bull. I mean, let's just say as an example, for the sake of example only, let's say we got in like, let's say we got even like here, the 38.2 roughly, somewhere around here. Doesn't have to be exact. All right, we're gonna put a 100-point stop, so that'll be below this level here of structure previously. If price gets down to this level, there's a pretty good chance it's gonna just keep dropping down all the way to this zone. And then our target would be the top of the zone at the very least, so 1 to 2, assuming that we get an entry all the way down there. At most, let's say 1 to 4, so about 500 points, So that would be the only possibility I would maybe see, but it's not even. I wouldn't do it. Me personally, I'm not gonna do all that. I'd rather do this. I mean, this is a 1 to 8 potentially, and more importantly, it's in the direction of the overall trend right now, which I think is definitely still bearish. Only thing is, we might never get this entry, obviously, because the way it's looking, I mean, price might just go and just keep dropping down now, once New York opens in a couple hours. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe this would have been our entry point. I wasn't up at midnight. So, maybe it was, or as close as it was ever going to get with this, weak hourly candle here. And it was all around midnight, but I mean, I wasn't up at that time anyway. So, can't be up 24/7 as much as I would like to be. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll see. We'll see if price pushes back up to here. Maybe in the next couple hours, 557. So maybe in the next 2 hours, 3 hours, price will push back up to here. If we get 1, 2, 3, candles and some exhaustion forming, maybe we get an entry for New York session pushing down. But we'll see. We will see where it goes. I'm going to delete this because I don't need this, but I'm going to leave that because I'm going to wait to see what happens. With that, I will catch you guys tomorrow, and happy trading.